Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from MyProgression, and this is part 2 of 3 videos on safeguarding. We recommend you watch them in order, so if you haven't watched the first video yet, head on over to that now. This video is going to detail the types of abuse that we need to protect children from and how to spot signs of this happening. What do we need to protect children from? Sadly, this is a long list. The types of abuse we're going to discuss in this video are physical, emotional, sexual, neglect, bullying, radicalisation, child trafficking, and female genital mutilation. But do we know how to recognise the signs of this abuse in children? Generally speaking, one sign we always should look out for is a sudden change in behaviour. Maybe a child becomes withdrawn or starts misbehaving. This is not so easy for you to spot when on supply. However, it is important to listen to others. Support staff and other children are often quick to pick up on such changes in behaviour, and they will tell you about it. Now, this is not enough on its own to warrant a referral, but worth noting for the class teacher. Other more obvious signs are those of a physical nature. For example, a child may arrive in school with unexplained bruises or cuts. It's not your job to investigate, but a simple, caring question such as, "Oh dear, I can see you've got a big bruise on your cheek. Tell me how that happened." Don't ask leading or judgmental questions such as, "Who did that to you?" I'll talk more about that in video 3. A child may make a disclosure to you. Be prepared. Stay professional and never make a promise to keep a secret. Again, I will go through a step-by-step approach on how to deal with this in the next video. Let's consider the different types of abuse and how to spot the signs. We'll start with physical abuse. Physical abuse is when someone hurts or harms a child or young person on purpose. This includes hitting, punching, kicking, shaking, poisoning, burning, biting, and breaking bones. It also includes making up the symptoms of an illness or causing a child to become unwell. Bumps and bruises don't always mean a child is being abused. All children have accidents, trips, and falls. If a child regularly has injuries, there seems to be a pattern to the injuries, or the explanation doesn't match the injuries, then this should be reported. Next, we have emotional abuse. Emotional or psychological abuse involves the continual emotional mistreatment of a child. It can involve deliberately trying to scare, humiliate, isolate, or ignore a child. Emotional abuse is often a part of other kinds of abuse, which means it can be difficult to spot the signs or tell the difference, though it can also happen on its own. Emotional abuse includes humiliation, constant criticism, ridiculing, pushing a child too hard or not recognizing their limitations, exposure to domestic abuse or drug taking, not allowing them to have friends, persistently ignoring them, emotional neglect, never showing kindness, love, or positive feelings. There might not be any obvious physical signs of emotional abuse or neglect, and a child might not tell anyone what's happening until they reach a crisis point. However, they may present with low confidence, be very emotional, and have difficulty making friends. Again, if you have any of these concerns, it's worth alerting the school so they can monitor over time. Now we have sexual abuse. Knowing the signs of sexual abuse can help give a voice to children. Sometimes children won't understand what's happening to them is wrong. They may know no different. Or they might be too scared to speak out. You might notice that a child avoids being alone with or frightened of someone they know. They may be reluctant or refuse to go home from school with a particular adult, for example. They may use language or draw pictures of sexual behaviour you wouldn't expect them to know at their age. This is a common one. You may get reports of nightmares or bedwetting, or the child may start self-harming, and this happens even in young children. Moving on to neglect. Neglect can show itself in many forms. A child may present as hungry, dirty, or wearing inappropriate clothing for the weather. They may be very tired, late for school, or have no lunch provided. Generally, the staff in the school would monitor this situation, as long as it's not too extreme, and keep a log. This will help build a picture and make referrals for support for the family. This is difficult if you're only in the school for a short time. However, if you notice any of these indicators, you should note it down for the school. It may help them complete their assessment of the whole situation. Unfortunately, some children experience a range of different abuse within their home. So be alert in school, as children deal with it in different ways. Some children are in a high state of stress because of their home life, and will often present with poor behaviour, aggression, and frustration. Be aware of the toxic trio. This is used to describe the issues of domestic abuse, mental ill health, and substance misuse, which have been identified as common features of families where harm to children and adults has occurred. Next, we have bullying. Bullying is a form of abuse, but beware, the term bullying can often be overused. With that said, please be alert to the way children treat others and are being treated by others. It's a behaviour that can hurt a child both physically and emotionally, and is usually repeated over a long period of time. Cyberbullying is becoming more widespread. Unlike bullying in the real world, online bullying can follow the child wherever they go, via social networks, gaming, and mobile phones. Sometimes children who are being bullied don't want to go to school and often say they're ill. Often they appear nervous, have low confidence, they're withdrawn, or have problems with eating or sleeping. The lunchtime supervisors or parents may report this to you. It's worth noting for the teacher. Moving on to radicalisation. Radicalisation is the process by which a person comes to support terrorism and extremist ideologies associated with terrorist groups. In school, you have a legal duty to prevent radicalisation. The Prevent Duty, the Counter-Terrorism and Security Act of 2015, contains a duty on specified authorities to have due regard for the need to protect people from being drawn into terrorism. As teaching professionals, you need to be alert to signs of radicalisation and report any concerns. Extremists might target children and tell them they can be part of something special, later brainwashing them into cutting themselves off from their friends and family. So how do you spot signs of potential radicalisation? Children who are at risk of radicalisation may have low self-esteem or be victims of bullying or discrimination. However, these signs don't necessarily mean a child is being radicalised. It may be normal teenage behaviour or a sign that something else is going on. Radicalisation can be really difficult to spot. Signs that may indicate a child is being radicalised include becoming a loner, talking like it's from a script, unwilling to express views, disrespect towards others, angry or secretive. For more information on how to spot the signs of radicalisation, have a look at our video on Prevent. And if you're finding this video helpful, like and subscribe to keep seeing more from MyProgression. Next we have trafficking. Trafficking is where children and young people are tricked, forced or persuaded to leave their homes and are moved or transported and then exploited, forced to work or sold. These children experience many types of abuse and neglect. Traffickers use physical, sexual and emotional abuse as a form of control. Children and young people are also likely to be physically and emotionally neglected, and may be sexually exploited. Having an awareness of this practice and being alert to some of the characteristics of children who've been trafficked may help to identify them. Sometimes children who've been trafficked won't understand that that's what's happened to them. It may not be obvious that a child has been trafficked, but you might notice unusual or unexpected things. For example, they might talk regularly about household chores, be unsure which country, city, or town they're in, have injuries from working, or give a scripted story which is very similar to stories given by other children. Finally, we have female genital mutilation, or FGM. FGM is when a female's genitals are deliberately altered or removed for non-medical reasons. It's also known as female circumcision or cutting, but has many other names. FGM is carried out for a number of cultural and social reasons. Some families and communities believe that FGM will benefit the girl in some way, such as preparing them for marriage or childbirth. But it is a harmful practice that isn't required by any religion, and there are no health benefits. This is a form of child abuse. It's dangerous and is a criminal offence in the UK. So what could cause concern, or what could you look out for? A child may tell you that a person known as a cutter is visiting from abroad, or they're going to a special ceremony where a girl becomes a woman. They could tell you they're going on a long holiday abroad. It's important to inform the school if you hear anything like this, as it could prevent the girl going through this brutal ceremony. If the act of FGM has already been performed, the young girl may find it difficult to walk, stand, or sit. She may spend longer in the bathroom or appear quiet or depressed. I've been Natalie from MyProgression, and the next video in our safeguarding series will take a look at how to handle a concern and how to keep yourself safe. And if you want to see more videos on working in education, then please like and subscribe, and let's keep your career in motion.